demonstration of Wirecast.
%90 of the stress.
You know, with all this equipment, you could almost be mistaken as an Al-Qaeda operative.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Interesting. I actually like it. It's really cool.
Here we go. Let's see, what do we got here? Oops, I can't see.
You know, just even, I think, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
this would have been relatively impossible.
I wonder did Justin start doing his
Demonstration
thing?
of Wirecast.
Yeah, Justin TV.
Oh, right. I don't know.
He did it, I think, there we go. Looks like you're seated perfectly. Try a different camera. I realize I can get almost a panorama going here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oops. See, that's not part of the Wirecast.
This
the
is a
switcher right here.
demonstration of
It's
Wirecast.
actually from 1995.
It's like this. I feel a little bit like I'm in Star Wars and what's the ship? The Millennium Falcon. It's a combination of all these different technologies.
Except that it's all like falling apart like the Millennium Falcon too.
Hey, but you know, it's the fastest ship.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
it runs like...
It was a hot rod.
Yeah, this is a hot rod of journalism.
Chroma key. Let's see. Channel A. Pick my color.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Just want to do it. Try a different color. Technology. There we go. That color will work.
Right, you know, you can take a long time just fidgeting with adjustment.
Yeah.
I know, like I really enjoy making little movies, like online.
This
I
is
really
a
enjoy
demonstration
that.
of Wirecast.
And I feel like with iMovie, as opposed, because I have a copy of Final Cut, not the Pro edition, but kind of a scaled down version of that. And I haven't really toyed with it all that much because I've found that for everything I want to do, with the exception of some picture-in-picture and some of the higher-end effects, that everything I want to do is pretty much available to me in iMovie. And it's been interesting seeing how the intellectual property rights thing has shaken out, because a lot of some of, like the most popular video I've made
of
had
Wirecast.
1,400 hits or 1,300 hits, but it had music in the background from the band Rat, Round and Round, and once it hit like its 1,100, 1,200 hits, they pulled it for violating the copyright.
Yeah, a lot of that just depends on the.
I haven't made a fair use of it yet. I mean, I was gonna do
Oh, I did one. What was the name of the song? It was walking around downtown.
This is a demonstration
and the song
of
was,
Wirecast.
Charlie Parker tune that was made into a song by what was his name? I can't think of it. King Pleasure. And I got this. That is the feed coming back to us.
Oh.
So I can see that it's actually streaming.
This is a demonstration of
Here's
Wirecast.
your internet connection right here. The air card.
Excellent. You have Sprint then?
Sprint, yeah.
How does that? I was thinking of getting that exact thing.
The MiFi?
Yeah. Does it work fairly well? Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's just been something I'm knocking around. I have cable modem now, but I'd like to have mobile wireless for running credit card transactions. especially for advertising.
This is a demonstration
advertising,
of
from
Wirecast.
selling ads to advertisers, it's really easy.
Yeah.
I have the swipe machine, so it's just like, oh, let's just take care of it right now. Out of sight, out of mind. Expedite it.
We're not going anywhere very fast here.
Is this live?
That's live, but like 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Oh wow, okay.
Slow connection. See, this is the program right here.
This is a
This is the
demonstration of
preview,
Wirecast.
and I'm having problems with the preview. Let's see which one it is.
Wow, it's interesting to see myself just a few seconds ago. I feel like it's deja vu.
That's pretty weird.
That is a trip. Looks like we're looking in the rearview mirror, kind of, or
That's pretty messed up. It's one of the.
This
I can
is
try
a
this.
demonstration of
I don't know
Wirecast.
why. This thing is in the foreground.
Trusty companion back here.
Yes, Tima.
It'd be nice if you had one of those 360 dome cameras, like Google uses to drive around and take
yeah.
360-degree pictures on top of their vehicle,
This
sticks
is
up
a
like
demonstration
keys.
of Wirecast.
There's some problems with the key right there. It's flashing.
Oh yeah.
I got it figured out here. Well, I'm going to try a reset. Turn that on and turn that off. And I need to get the right audio.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
The more I play with this, the better I get at it.
And I know I want to get a copy of this. See, this is a demo copy. You'll see it up here in a second. Oh,
I've seen it cycle through.
Yeah.
Kind of like, this is brought to you by Wirecast.
Yeah, this is a demonstration of Wirecast in a robo voice.
It's a kind robo. Sensuous, kind of soothing robo.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
No, let's see. This
It
is
could
an
be
incredibly
more.
entertaining, professionally done show.
Well, it's kind of the beginnings. I'm sure that the first
Oh yeah,
runs
this
of
is all
Johnny
experimental.
Carson were very kind of loose.
Yeah, I didn't have Johnny Carson.
Yeah, there you go.
They had Steve. What was his name?
I'm not sure. I really felt like Johnny Carson was
This
maybe
is
the
a
best.
demonstration of Wirecast.
But there's something to be said. When the writers went on strike? And I was watching, who's the dark-haired guy? They moved him to an earlier slot. So bad with these names, all these superstar names. But he took over Johnny Carson's spot.
Steve Allen, I think was the original. I don't know what happened to him.
But when the writers went on strike, I felt like The Tonight Show with Jay Leno got so much better
Demonstration of Wirecast.
because they were doing it live. And they kind of there was that feeling that they were live. They weren't it wasn't choreographed, it wasn't sterile in that choreographed way. And I think that people really started to tune into that. And I only saw a couple of episodes of it, but I thought it was superior, vastly superior to the choreographed stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And I wish they would go back to that model. I wish they would do it live. I think Jay Leno actually was very successful, but he was a stand-up comedian, so
This is a
he had that.
demonstration of
He had that
Wirecast.
ability to kind of move with what felt good from the live audience perspective.
Let's see, JEFFHE.
LKENBERG. That's all it is.
Is it German?
I believe so. I'm adopted.
Oh, okay.
And my grandfather was like 80% Native American somehow, so I don't know how Helkenberg came through a kind of a Native American line, but there it is. Well, it was actually two sisters. They came across
Of Wirecast.
the pond 150 years ago or something and landed, and then they married a native, like one of them, only one of them I think had children. She married a Native American man, but he took the name Helkenberg.
Mm-hmm.
And then their children married into Native Americans again, and then my grandfather married an Irish woman,
Yeah.
and then my father was like
I had
60% Cherokee.
heard that Native Americans,
This
they
is
if
a
they
demonstration
kidnapped
of Wirecast.
Europeans, women, mostly, a lot of times they had a hard time because the Americans or Europeans would recapture the women and bring them back, and they were treated so badly in our society that they had a hard time keeping them back in our society. They would run away to try and find their tribe again.
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. You know, my understanding, and it's secondhand, is that the women were treated, they kind of ruled the roost. The men were the hunters, and they you know, like they were the defenders, but they weren't necessarily the ones who were organizing the structure of the community. That was mostly, the women mostly maintained, and it was more of a communal style living, and you know, there wasn't this sense that you're all alone and you're waiting for your husband to come home and beat you up because he's had a bad day or something. I mean, not that that's the typical like 1860s American way of life, but it seems like the life of man was nasty, brutish, and short, and the life of woman was even worse than that. So
A lot of I apologize. I'm trying to get set up here again because after that reset. Let's see, Skype.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Center. That one be red. This one.
So is it possible to take live calls?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very amazing.
Well, you know, I mean, compared, you know, there's KKFI, and that's public broadcast. This is really, you know, it's very expensive to maintain. Now, not that this setup is inexpensive, but the broadcast cost. I mean, when you broadcast at 100,000 watts, it's like a, you know, it's a 100,000 watt spotlight in the sky that's shooting out radio waves, which are just, you know, like, they're just not visible. They're light, but they're not visible. But the cost of running a 100,000 watt light bulb is the cost of running a broadcast station.
Yeah.
You know, at its base, and not even including the cost of all the equipment and the maintenance of that, and then having a big building, and then having the footprint for your tower. So, you know, being able to move into this digital age and do it off of a wireless card, and then broadcast potentially to 1 billion people. I mean, it's getting that many people to care, but, you know, but having that capacity without having to support the infrastructure.